نحن جيل من ربع عبد العزيز قائد التوحيد بالعزم الأكيد قد حملنا العلم نبضا في الوريد لنري الدنيا من العقل الجديد. منك جامعة الملك عبد العزيز، منك جامعة الملك عبد العزيز، فباسم الله نبدأ قبل لم نصنع الدنيا ونرتاد القمم. قد رسمنا بالهدى قبل القلم صورة الأمجاد مفتاح الأمم.
أجمل ترحيب في لقاءات كرسي صندوق تنمية الموارد البشرية، ونحن سعداء جدا بحضوركم، وعلى رأس الحضور سعادة مدير الصندوق الأستاذ أحمد المنصور الزامي، والإخوة ضيوفه وزملائه الأستاذ هشام الجاوي وسعادة عميد الكلية وكثير من العاملين بالصندوق وطلبة الدراسات العليا والأخوة أعضاء هيئة التدريس بمختلف التوجهات والتخصصات. واستسمحكم في أن يبدأ البروف محفوظ الأنصاري محاضرته عن القيادة في البيئة والمحيط السعودي، وإذا في أحد يحب أنه نترجم له ترجمة جزئية أو كلية ممكن يطلب، وأنا أحاول أترجم له بعض الاصطلاحات. يفترض أنه معظم الطلاب الموجودين الإخوة يكونوا يجيدوا اللغة الإنجليزية، فإذا في أحد يعني عنده توجه غير كده نحن سعداء بتلبية طلبات. ما في أحد يحب نترجم له؟ طيب you can start in English. Professor محفوظ الأنصاري is a full-fledged professor from the University of Lethbridge, and he wrote over 70 articles plus 2 books. He worked in Malaysia for about 14 years. He established the Islamic University with Dr. Abu Sulaiman, Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman. He has a lengthy track record that if I start reading the track record, I would probably consuming about half an hour. But we are so happy that he is with us, Professor Mahfouz, and we would like to learn from him as much as we can.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Brother Dr. Khalid, for a very precise, generous introduction. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulil Kareem. I think it's a great honor for me to have been invited to share some of my 2 cents, we call it in America. That is some of my views with you about leadership in the cultural context. And that context certainly is going to be the way I understand about Saudi Arabia. And that is going to be with reference to some of the Western countries and some South Asian countries. So inshallah, what I will do in about 30 minutes, I shall first set the stage, and then what I mean about culture and what others have meant. I will try to give you a brief idea about that, and then I would say what kind of style will be most appropriate in this kind of context. I don't mean that this will be the only context where this can be used, because the idea which I am going to give you is not my new idea today, but even 15 years ago I started developing that, and we have successfully used it in many of the multinational companies, those who are operating in Asia, and that has been some kind of success. So in fact, I have been motivated by those things. So I call this leadership style transitional style. That is, first you have to prepare your followers to receive your command. Then only you can do something. And finally, I shall give you some empirical evidence in a very non-technical language without using any number, without using any statistics. What we have found. Naturally, there has not been 100% success, but some success with which we are happy. This topic of leadership is very fascinating. Very fascinating. Sometimes it has been in or out of the fashion, but still it has influenced both academics as well as business audience. Perhaps this has been studied for a long time. I generally call it centuries of speculations about leadership. Even this you can see in the epics, most of the holy books. Decades of empirical investigations. I think now we can count since 40. It is going to be about 70 years of empirical investigations in this area. Never-ending books and articles. Just according to one count, there are 500 leadership books only in management. It's not really possible to read all of them. Even if I have been, there are a total of 8 journals in management. They are only publishing articles in leadership. Plus almost all top journals have at least 10 to 20% in every issue. So you can see how important this topic is, but still the problem still persists for all of us. That is, we are still investigating, and I just want to summarize what is the real problem. That is theory-practice fit. We have a number of theories, but what is happening that they do not apply in all situations, or even in the similar situations it fails. Perhaps that is the reason. So we have to think, try to define this topic leadership as the process of influencing people in efforts to achieve some goals. These people are group members, followers of the leader, but where the attempt of the leader has to be perceived as legitimate. That is very important, because we are talking of leadership in work organizations. I have nothing to do with political leadership here. So legitimacy must be there. When I say style, I mean characteristics, manner in which the leader exerts influence over others. What we have learned thus far, let me summarize in 5 minutes. Basically, there have been 2 approaches to understanding leadership. One is called average leadership style. By average leadership style means, if I am participative, I am participative to all members of the group. If I am autocratic, I am autocratic to everyone. That is, I am trying to address the homogeneous lot. Okay? So treatment is equal. The other approach is called leader-member exchange. That says just opposite. It says that if a leader has 5 followers, there are 5 unique dyadic relationships. Even if we have 5 subordinates, we do not treat them equally. We might be liking all of them, but still there is a continuum, more or less. We might be disliking all of them, but still there is a continuum. I belong to this category, but this is not the platform to talk about that. In the first category, which started, as I said, 70 years ago, people started talking of some personality traits. And they said that these traits can distinguish successful and unsuccessful leader. But I think this era went very quickly, because people realized that what exactly do you mean by personality traits? Although people had used some word like psychological attributes, physical attributes, like a leader has to be taller and heavier, a leader has to be smart, a leader has to be intelligent, but we know that there are great leaders who are just 5 feet 1 inch. There are many leaders who cannot be called smart and beautiful. There are many leaders who are totally unintelligent, stupid, but still they are leaders. So this really did not survive. So people said that